I forgot to mention that many of these parts can sort of go on backwards, like this part here. It might, when I actually put this back onto the engine, it might need to swivel around 90 degrees, and this air tube, it might need to swivel around, but don't worry, you can always change it on the engine. Just make sure that you've got everything on the inside of the carburetor working nicely. Okay, so now onto the float side. So put the little orange float, the little orange needle into the float case, float cover thing, and then put it all together. It's a good idea now to check that this is actually sealing. So what I just did then was just put my lips on it and blew on it, and when it's like that and that line says up, you should be able to blow and you'll feel air and hear air come out here. But when it's the other way around over here, that means the float is going to be pushing down on the needle, so you shouldn't be able to blow. So if you can, recheck that you've done it all correctly, and if you can still blow both ways, check that the needle's not damaged and possibly get a new one. They're not that expensive, only about $3. Lastly, it's this little cover piece for the kill switch, and you can see that those holes aren't in the center, and the holes on the carburetor on here they don't go through the center, so make sure that you actually put it on the right way, and you look through it and you can see the other side, because they're not on center, so if you put it the wrong way you'll never get it through. That's basically the carburetor. Yeah, there's not much more to it than that. It does have that little screw there which you can screw the white thing, and that makes it go faster or slower. Generally you don't really need to touch that. Now I've got to fix the pull start on the engine. I've got the recoil off and I'm not quite sure how to do it, so I'm going to consult my manuals and hopefully that will tell me what to do. Alright, I didn't need to pre-tension it, I just had to work it out, just spend a tiny bit of time looking at it and working out which way it goes. So now it's got the same style of recoil as that Briggs I had, or still have, but now it works. So now I've got to clean the base off, so I might leave that till tomorrow because it's getting a bit dark. So I'll leave it till tomorrow. Okay, so I've just cleaned up the carburetor and I've put it back on using that 45 degrees and twist. This can be quite a difficult part if the engine's on the base, but because it's not, it shouldn't be too hard. This magneto doesn't have the points in condenser. It's got an ignition module under there. That thing there, I don't know what it does, so don't ask me. And just make sure all the wires are connected onto the magneto. And now there's these two ones here, and they go into the carburetor just there. One goes straight in and into the carburetor, and the other one goes through and hits on, and when the carburetor's in the stop position they connect, and that's what kills the engine. So you've just got to be a little bit careful putting them in. Okay, both of them are in there, and now you can see when I turn the throttle off, you'll see that they move and they'll hit each other. So that's on the on position, and when I slide it back, it's rather difficult with one hand, but you might even be able to see it. But it's the one in there that moves. You can see it moves up just a little bit, and that's enough to turn the engine off.